Everything you need to know about aliens, it's 3 videos. First video, are aliens real? Are UFOs real? Yes, in 1947, UFO crashed in New Mexico. Some think they crashed into each other. We found one 2 years later. In that crash, we found a couple dead aliens, but we found one that survived, EBE-1. It lived with us until 1952, and it told us a lot of secrets. I know of 3 aliens live that we've had, EBE-1, EBE-2, and EBE-3. I don't know anything about EBE-2, but EBE-3, a lot of people think we got like around 64, there's an interview that people think is real. I'll let you decide for it, but here's the video. And he tells us all these information. They say at first couple years he didn't want to talk, and then he started talking. We keep him in an electromagnetic facility. So these aliens, they can time travel and disappear and become invisible and all these things through the mind. And we think of time as linear. We start here, we're traveling through time, beginning of our life, end of our life. Well, in reality, it's more parallel, maybe more than that. But let's say now we're going here. Well, this whole thing is going back and forth as we're doing this, and it just cycles and it never ends. So UFOs, we have recovered like 12 to 15 UFOs, and when I say that, we could have 300, who knows, but that I know what I'm talking about. So 2 or 3 of them were like in perfect condition. One of them, they say they found in an archaeological dig. They say we can fly these things. We have tried to fly them anyway. I don't know how it went. Balthazar, he has been inside one because his job was to reverse engineer the technology. And when you hear him talk, he's credible and brilliant.
115 is strictly an extraterrestrial material. Element 115 is in the top of the reactor, and the base of the reactor is something similar to a cyclotron. It's a particle accelerator. A particle is accelerated to high speed and then deflected up a small tube, and it's aimed at the 115. This transmutes the one.
Other credible people in this field would be John Lear.
We've made a deal for military technology.
Well, I think we made a deal with them, and their ultimate, what they want to do is regenerate their own race. Now, apparently, they've either had some kind of nuclear accident, or they're on the backside of a evolutionary genetic curve, and they're going downhill instead of uphill. In other words, in the autopsies, of which I have 2, we found out that their digestive system is atrophied. They can't eat through their mouth anymore. You know how they eat? Well, these cattle mutilations, they take the hormones and the enzymes from those cattle and they spread it on their skin, and their skin absorbs the nutrients.
Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, the singer, he's been on this for like 20 years. He started a company like 10 years ago where he hired all these extremely qualified people, and they've been on it hard since then, and he's legit. He knows what he's talking about. Do the presidents know? Well, most presidents have UFO sightings. Like, you can go back on YouTube and see Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. Well, why don't they tell us? Ooh, well, that's a tricky one. There's different thoughts, but the main thought is, well, we can't handle it. Well, we can't handle what? Who knows? Maybe that we're about to get extinct. And so what's that about? The end of time, and what do people believe in that? Well, there's a couple different theories. Like, one is that these aliens came to us like 50 plus years ago, maybe 70 now, actually, and warned us that we have to change and we have a certain amount of time to do these things, and if we can't, that they're going to take us out for the good of the planet. Because another thing people think is that EBE-3 told us what's going to happen, and he's going to say one of our own is going to take us out. And you can hear this many times. People think this, that one of our own is going to take us out with nuclear and almost wipe out the civilization. So maybe that's where the 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7 from these remaining few that survive this blast, man-made, I mean, half a million years down the road or whatever, I mean, we turn into aliens eventually. They are us, but in the very distant future. So that's what they believe there. So then some people think in like 1961 that the aliens brought us like a gift. And some people say two things. One was a translator. It's like a thing you type into, I guess, their language to ours. I'm not sure about that. What I hear more about is a yellow book. And so the yellow book, it's not like a book, but it looks like a book, and you open it up and it's not words, it's like holograms maybe. And it shows images from the past and teaches us about our past. And from what I hear, it doesn't show about the future, but it shows us also technology, like we can learn from it and stuff, and that we still have that, and it's like heavily guarded. Not many people have access to it. So that's basically aliens in a nutshell. So there's way more to it, and some of those details aren't perfect because it's all like confidential and it's coming from all these sources, but in a nutshell, there you go. And the final point is this: well, what about religion? Well, the crazy thing is, it's like, dude, I almost think like all the stories from the history of time might be true. Like the Greek gods, true. Jesus, true. Aliens and the pyramids, true. Atlantis, true. Like, anyway, so that's aliens.